How to make the easiest possible super smelter in Minecraft. This efficient super smelter is super easy to build and will smelt you thousands and thousands of items an hour. Now these are materials you will need to build this, so anyways, let's get into it. Alright, so to get started on the super smelter you will need to place yourself out a double chest. Then place yourself 8 hoppers going into this chest from the right side, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you've done that, place yourself 8 furnaces on top of each of the hoppers, as in 1 furnace on top of each of the hoppers. Then once you've done that, place yourself a hopper going into each of the furnaces from above and a second row of hoppers going into each of the furnaces from the back. So anyways, once you've done that, head to the left side of this chest and then place yourself 4 blocks going upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the same 1 block going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then going out from the furnace you have right here, place yourself a slab on the upper half of this furnace. Then place yourself a 1 slab on the upper half of this hopper right here that's going into the top furnace. And then place yourself a solid block to the left of this half slab. So now you should have something that looks like this. So anyways, once I've done this, head behind what I've built so far. And then you will have to place yourself 2 solid blocks pretty much right behind the 2 half slabs you have right here, or to the right side of this hopper right here. Then head to the right side of what you built so far from the front and then place yourself 3 blocks going upwards to the right side of this. Then go 1 more block to the right and build yourself 4 blocks going upwards, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then head behind what you have just built and then do the same but lower it by 1 block. So firstly place yourself 2 blocks right here and then 3 blocks right here. So now you should have something that looks like this from the back and something that looks like this from the front. So anyways, what we will have to do now is place yourself a bunch of railings on top of here. So firstly head to the back of the farm and then place yourself 8 normal railings on top of each of the hoppers that's going into the furnaces. Then place yourself another normal railing to the right of all of these railings and then place yourself a powered rail on the end right here. And you will also temporarily have to break this block and then place yourself a normal rail instead. Then head to the opposite side and do the same, so place yourself a powered rail right here, break this block temporarily and then replace it with a normal rail. So anyways, then do the same on the top right here, so place yourself 8 normal railings on top of each of these hoppers with then another normal railing to the right. Then fill in the 2 corner blocks you have right here with power rails, so 1 right here and then finally 1 right here. And once you've placed in those 2 final powered rails, you can now destroy the temporary rail we have right here and replace it with that solid block. Do the same on the other side. So what you should have now is something that looks like this. So anyways, what you will have to do now is power the 2 rails we have on the right side right here. So to do that, simply head to the right side right here and then place yourself 2 levers on top of these 2 blocks right here and then simply flick them on, and now these 2 power rails should be turned on. And then head to the left side of this and then place yourself a lever on front of this block right here, and if you flick this lever on, both of these power rails should now be turned on. And they should of course be turned off once you flick this lever off. So the final step to this super smelter is now to make sure these power rails are turned off and then place yourself 2 minecarts with chest on top of these powered rails. And these 2 minecarts are pretty much minecarts you're going to load up with the fuel and of course the items you want to smelt. So to use it, all you will have to do now is fill up the minecart we have in the back right here with the fuel, and again make sure this is the minecart that's in the back. So I'm going to simply use some coal, but you can of course use wood, bamboo, whatever you want instead. And then you will have to fill up this minecart right here with the items you want to smelt. So I'm going to start off with iron, some sand and then some stone. So anyways, to turn this on, simply flick this lever, and what will happen now is that the minecarts will go back and forth and they will equally distribute the items within all the furnaces. And just to show you that this works, if I now turn this off, the minecarts will go back one final time. Stop right here, and if I look into all of the furnaces, we have 5 iron, 5 coal, and we have the same in all of the furnaces. And as you can see, 8 iron has already been smelted. However, we should have gotten 4 more, or 8 more I mean, and we now have a total of 16. So anyways, what you can do now is just leave this on, stand AFK or build this somewhere close to your base, and you will be able to smelt items automatically and very quickly. So yeah, anyways guys, that is it for this one, and that is how to make a very easy and very efficient super smelter in Minecraft. So anyways, that is it for this one guys, so yeah, thanks more for watching and hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about how this works or anything like that, feel free to leave the questions down below and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. So anyways, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.